You know what? I could not make this shit up if I tried. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, by popular request, I am going to go ahead and dig into Bethany Funk. Her whole role in this horrendous, horrific case. So, I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to do the psychological profiling through the lens of the cards. And once again, this reading is for entertainment purposes only, not based on fact. It's my opinion, my interpretation of the cards. Do your own research, form your own opinions, throw your own cards. And I am not a psychiatrist, not a counselor, not a doctor of any kind. So, and I forgot this. There we go. So, I'm just a blonde throwing cards here. Not based on fact, etc., etc. You know the routine. So, we're going to get to it. And I hope you got your coffee. I got mine. I just want to make sure I remember to keep the mouse out of the camera view. Okay. So I am going to start with these cards. Well, that doesn't need to be in the camera view either. Okay. Alrighty. So I asked my spirit team and the Holy Spirit to show me what we need to know and help us understand Bethany Funk and her role or her connection to the case. You know, they say that she has exculpatory information for Brian Koberger. Is that fact or fiction, I wonder? Curious minds want to know. And be kind in the comments, please. You know, even if you don't agree with what the cards say, the cards are what they are. And I could be wrong. Another reader could be wrong. There's no guarantees. As I have said before, it's all in the different individual reader interpretation. But to my credit, I have been right in many scenarios when my version of a story contradicts everybody else. Just keep that in mind too. And I ask you to be kind so I don't have to turn comments off. Okay, so let's see. And respect each other, not just me. This card kind of wants to come out. What do we have? Lady of the Bosch Egg, Ancient Wisdom. I would take that as old wisdom that she still carries with her. She definitely has knowledge of what went on that night. Strange Valentine. Love is strange. That's interesting. Love is strange. Strange Valentine. Ancient knowledge. I want one more. My first thoughts went to Kaylee and her ex, Mr. Loverboy. Something that she knew about them? Perhaps. Eclipse Mermaid. A powerful energy shift. She had knowledge about a shift or a change. I feel this has to do with Kaylee. I can't shake that. And the Bosch egg is making me remind me of. She holds the key. She holds information regarding something, a change that happened with Loverboy and Kaylee. Allegedly speaking. Okay. Let's get the archival oracle out here. I keep calling archival. Archetypal oracle. What do you want to show us? I already did some pre-shuffling off the screen. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is I shit you not moment. Boom. That's a boom. Eternal child. And oh my, you know what? I could not make this shit up if I tried. And we got the ring. Ring symbolizes commitments. Ring could also be a criminal ring. Like a group that people belong to. But it's also symbolic of a contractual agreement. So, oh, how this keeps getting, there we go. This is loud to say the least. Okay. Let's get into Bethany's mind. Okay, let's get into her mind. I don't know why, but I was just told to turn all the cards upright. So I went through the deck, turned them all as upright positions and shuffling. You know, sometimes, you know, I switch back and forth between reading reversals and not. And I follow my instinct. I follow my guidance. And I don't know why, but they said to use all upright meanings. So that is what we're going to do. Sometimes Spirit does this in order to make me stretch my intuition when I see a card. And I think it has to do with the pictures on the card. That you can pick things out better upright than trying to look at something upside down. But they will bring up the card that is supposed to come up. And I'm using the same decks that I used for Dylan. I just kind of wanted an even playing field, you know, to keep things fair. I'm liking that archival. archetypal. One of these days I'll say it correctly right out the gate. I must be calling it archival for a reason. Maybe an archive of evidence or archive of videos or text messages that were deleted that are really archived somewhere. There's a reason why I keep saying archival. Okay. Her root core identity. Queen of Wands. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. I want to move these cards out of the way. I would not have pictured Bethany as a Queen of Wands. I was seeing her more as Queen of Cups or something. But this is somebody to the core. It's almost like she would be typically outgoing or very driven in some way. Fiery. But something triggered her to go within. You know, I'm kind of getting that Queen of Wands in the reverse energy, actually, to be perfectly honest. I'm getting that, though, to the core, it feels like she has a certain confidence about her, but she's not expressing it. Attractive. But that's her at the core. So that's her true self. Maybe center of attention. I'm getting life of the party. Not what I was expecting for Bethany to be the life of the party. Just saying. Now, what's the mask? The mask to the world. What she portrays to outside. It's the Page of Swords. Okay. So that is more of study, articulate, vocal. But she's not portraying that now. Honest. Honesty. Critical thinker. A critical thinker. So, she's the life of the party. She enjoys celebrating. She enjoys her friends. She shows everybody she's a critical thinker. She kind of investigates, researches, whatever subject it is. But very much in her head, very much in her thoughts. She kind of like analyzing things. She might be trying to process the event itself. But even outside the event, she's a critical thinker. She really thinks about how she's going to act, how she's going to react to different scenarios before she speaks. But she's coming across, well, this is the message. I'm an honest person. I speak my truth. Now, the psychological engine that is behind her actions. This is her driving force. High Priestess. hidden knowledge, right down to even secrets. Her driving force is to keep quiet, not really show, not showing her cards, not showing her hand. There's a spiritual aspect about her, and I'm getting more of a ritualistic, and I'm not getting Christian. I'm not getting Christian, but more spiritualist, intuitive, kind of like you and me. She may have an interest in the occult, I'm seeing things like the moon, perhaps, and there's stars in this image, perhaps astrology. I don't know if she would be into tarot or not, but maybe astrology. But she doesn't show it. That's like a hidden thing. That's something that, for whatever reason, religious reasons of her upbringing, or perhaps the general public, but for some reason she doesn't want people to know her interest in maybe the mysterious. Okay? Let's keep going. All right. Her emotional landscape. This is how she processes her emotions. Two of Swords. She blocks them. She ignores them. Similar to Dylan. She typically doesn't act on her emotions. And she's not good at dealing with emotions. Kind of goes along with this Page of Swords, that critical thinker. She thinks things and doesn't feel them. Cognitive patterns. How does she think? What is her mindset? Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is when you're down, you get back up. There's a sense of exhaustion with the Nine of Wands. There's also the energy of repetitive patterns. She has a certain way she thinks. Almost like she's predictable. Now I want to draw a couple cards on her. I'm using a different clarifying deck. That's the only thing I'm using different. I don't remember the name of this deck. Strength. She has a really strong mind. Temperance. Typically, the way she thinks is she thinks about peace, not by force. Though, even though she's the life of the party, and typically she would be very outgoing, she hides a lot of things. She hides about her own belief system. Critical thinker, maybe even to the point of overthinking sometimes. She doesn't deal with the emotions, but at the same time, she's tired of the discord. She's tired of the drama. And she thinks about how to resolve conflicts peacefully rather than forcefully. You know, her energy, There's just a couple similarities to Dylan, but it feels like overall her energy's almost opposite of Dylan, just with a couple minor similarities. Because Dylan definitely did not come across as peaceful at all. Nope, nope, nope. I don't buy that at all. So let's see about her shadow traits. This is what they hide, her character traits of what she hides. Justice. This is about fairness. This is about karma. Has a character trait, balanced. But being that it's a shadow side, she typically, and it shows up in this case though, but typically she would show her balance of energy, being peaceful, calm, even if she's the life of the party. She knows how to have fun, but I guess what I'm trying to say, avoiding conflict. She avoids conflict. And as a shadow trait of justice, she avoids truth. Doesn't want to face her own personal truths. She's really not that balanced. She's unfair. I don't know what unfair has to do with all this. Perhaps she's maybe a victim mentality. But there's a lot of things she has to work on to bring her own self into balance. And this part of her shadow work would be facing certain truths. And I didn't do this for Dylan because I didn't feel called to. But I am going to look at the Dark Mirror Oracle on this. This Dark Mirror Oracle, really great for shadow work. Excellent for shadow work. And curiosity's killing the cat over here. I really want to know what this justice is about. I could throw some other tarot cards on it, but I was drawn to this Dark Mirror Oracle. Give me an indication of what this shadow, this truth that she does not want to face. What is the truth that Bethany Funk does not want to face in her own character? Queen of the World. That's that Queen of Wands energy. Sacrifice. I just want to, I'm just getting that there might be her personal truth about somebody who was queen of her own world, somebody who had everything going, who sacrificed it all, who sacrificed it all, or who was sacrificed it all. This could have to do with one of the victims. Go back to these oracles, particularly this lovers type energy. Could this be Kaylee? Kaylee being sacrificed. Allegedly speaking. Okay. All right. She doesn't want to face the truth that she may have played a part in what happened to Kaylee. I'm kind of wondering if there was some kind of friendship. It wasn't just Kaylee and Maddie that were friends. But Bethany fit into Kaylee's life somehow. And it's like I sacrificed my friend. Or my friend was sacrificed. There's something here about sacrificing. Somebody being sacrificed or sacrificing something. Very interesting. Okay. Now, her moral compass. This could be dark, this could be, but basically the moral compass is what is guiding her, or who is guiding her and advising her, for good or for bad. We've got the Nine of Cups here. Nine of Cups is generally wish fulfillment. Yeah, it's a wish. The genie. I'm curious about that. What is this Nine of Cups? A wish fulfillment or options coming out with the King of Pentacles. The businessman, the man with the money. You know, the King of Pentacles comes out in the Idaho 4 readings a lot. This is kind of making me think, what's driving her to keep moving forward? Her moral compass has to do with all of her wishes being fulfilled by a King of Pentacles. And this King of Pentacles is what is kind of guiding her. Let me get another card. Change. The Death card. Her moral compass is being guided by somebody who is paying her off or buying her silence. Her silence has been purchased and bought, which makes total sense that she's going against what her core, who she is at the core, that she was, I'm getting this girl who was once very honest, upright, somebody who could not stand liars, somebody who told the truth, who had moral values. That's who she has been. Very friendly, very outgoing. And that all changed in the blink of an eye. And now we have somebody that comes in and corrupts all of that. And now she's become the very thing that she can't stand. Deception, lies, and accepting a bribe. Somebody buying her silence. And instead of doing the right thing. My oh my. Her strengths. What strengths does she use to her advantage? Her pain. Her pain. She's very good at blocking out the pain. And her past experiences prior to this incident is where she draws strength. And we could go back to, even dealing with this nightmare. She kind of compartmentalizes it. All her pain, all her fears, almost like put into a little box that she kind of hides in the corner of her closet. Out of sight, out of mind. But her pain is her strength. Overcoming adversity. Overcoming hurtful, painful, heartbreak situations. And even betrayal. Okay. What is her relationship to power and control? Empress. That's a mother figure. There's a predominant female energy around her. Her relationship to power and control comes from her mother or a mother-like figure. There's kind of like a nurturing way she deals with power. There's this calm feeling about her. But she gets that from her mom. Now her role in the case, if any, she carries all the burdens. 10 of Wands. She carries a very heavy burden on her back. Let's get some clarifiers on these burdens. Six of Pentacles. Oh my God. Six of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Another I shit you not moment. Another boom. 10 of Pentacles. An organization, a group, a family atmosphere. Giving and receiving. This is She carries the burden of handing over evidence that would point towards... Oh, there's another card on the table. Seven of Pentacles. She bared witness to something in that house. There's a lot of money involved here. She carries the burden of the knowledge that she knows about the money exchange, who got paid off, and who did the deed. That's her connection to the case. And I think she knows the information, and she's carrying the burden of evidence. Wow. I'm not seeing her directly involved in the unalivings of her friends, her roomies. However, she knows what happened. She holds some key information, and she's carrying the burden of, do I share this? Do I not? She's not in a very easy place. Dylan had a much darker role, in my opinion. You could definitely tell a difference of energy. I do not believe Bethany had an active role as far as cleaning. I am not seeing any indication of cleaner with her or anything like that. I see her hiding away. I see her bearing witness. Okay. She knew exactly what was going on. And I'm feeling like she, Two of Swords, I want to block this out. I want to block out what's going on. I don't want to know. No. That la 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 energy. When everything was happening that night. While it was happening. But somebody bought her silence. There's a part of her deep down that really wanted to speak her truths. But she hides those truths. You know, I don't dislike Bethany. Dylan, no comment. But the energy around Bethany is definitely different. It's like she's not the type that will want to cause harm to anybody. She's somebody that likes harmony. But anyhow, we're going to go through the other spread of mine, the Web of Truth. Now the Web of Truth is designed for witnesses. Okay? Not the perpetrator themselves. This is a spread designed for witnesses. Okay. Her role again. It's kind of funny. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. Once again, Seven of Pentacles is patience, it's observation, it's waiting for the fruit to ripen, but the first thing I got was observation. Her role was observation. Her connection to the victims, Nine of Cups, again. That genie, that I'm hearing party friends. Fun, enjoyment, fulfillment. Okay? So, her connection, and let's go ahead and get some clarifiers on that. It's not a conflict. That is wish fulfillment. It could be overindulgence. You know, it was a party house. Her connection could simply be, let's party it up. But I think she had positive vibes. Queen of Cups. Absolutely. Her connection to the victims was very positive. You would think that this whole thing would. That's why she's blocking her emotions, because it would affect her emotionally, because she got along with them. There was a mutual love between them as friends. Okay. What about her testimony? Four of Cups. Now, her testimony could be something that certain people don't want to hear. It's almost like her testimony, her truths. Somebody is hoping that her testimony would be thrown out. And there's this idea here that she doesn't want to testify, but if she does, whether it's the prosecution or the defense, somebody would want her testimony to be thrown out. Show me more about this Four of Cups. There's a little bit of apathy. Knight of Pentacles is definitely her testimony that she has to give about her friends, childhood friends, memories, about her memory. And then that night, I would say it's the prosecution doesn't want her testimony to come out, because she has specific information regarding what she remembers about the partying that went on and the parties that they were at that night. That is, I gotta say, that's reliable. Her testimony is reliable. An accurate account of the events that night. And somebody doesn't want that coming out. It's about the partying. You know what comes to mind? Linda Lane. That's what comes to mind right now. So, let's keep on going. Okay, her hidden knowledge. Here's the dang Six of Pentacles again. That is her hidden knowledge. She knows about the money. This was there was money exchanged for certain individuals' participation. She knows, and if you look here, there's somebody grabbing, there's somebody underneath, maybe even begging. And what else is coming to mind is Kaylee and Maddie. Maddie, what did you tell Adam? I told Adam everything. Boom. Now we're going to look at what's influencing her or manipulating. 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is the walking away or departure. It's that leave alone. What's influencing her is somebody telling her, walk away from this. Walk away. Don't give up your knowledge. Five of Cups. Two of Swords again. What's influencing her? She wants this to go away. She doesn't want to face it. And there is a certain remorse, a certain emotional loss, a certain regret. I'm hearing that she may have regretted not intervening or stopping something. Perhaps not calling 911 when the events were. There is a sense of guilt here in her mind that she is guilty of not acting. And that is bothering her. That is influencing her. And the fact that she listened to somebody else that said, leave it alone. Walk away from this. Okay. Now, her fear or loyalty. Why did she delay? Knight of Wands. Allegedly speaking, entertainment purposes only. She delayed because somebody directly involved was still in that house or came back to that house. Let that sit for a minute. It's like she couldn't act. She couldn't. Excuse me. She couldn't do anything because there was a fear there that they would come after her if she called 911. There's a sense of self-preservation here. She regrets it now, but at the time, there's a sense of self-preservation. And the night of the crime, we've got the Empress to victims. No, that's Three of Pentacles, not the Empress. A group working together. Once again, there wasn't just one person that did this. There was more than one person. There were several. There were at least 3 inside the house doing this heinous act, doing this heinous crime. At least 3. There may have been a 4th person, a lookout person, a watch person, a cleaner. But during the act, there were at least 3 that were involved. How is she connected to Brian Koberger. Page of Pentacles, school. That's it. No real connection there. Just studying. School. May have seen him around campus or may have seen him in town. The fact that they were both in college. That's it. No real connection to Brian Koberger. Now, her legal standing, Ace of Wands. The legal standing here with her would be she holds the torch, the light, the truth. It's almost like, and it kind of makes sense with the last spread with that Ten of Wands. This case could literally lie in Bethany's hands. There's this very creative and communicative energy. She's kind of like her knowledge. It's like the baby in this card. The nurturing. This is my baby. This is the knowledge here that I have. I hold the torch. Do I dare shed light? It's a little bit of a dilemma that she's having. But she might be the star of the show. The bigger picture, Page of Wands. The Messenger. The bigger picture is, I've got the goods. I've got the evidence. I'm an eyewitness. The bigger picture is her testimony will make or break the case. And there, folks, I'm dropping the mic.